Welcome to Rome on Holiday. Today we're in Lisbon, specifically the Belém area. Located in western Lisbon, 4 miles from the historic centre, the Belém district is home to some of the best sights in the city, including the Belém Tower and the Jerónimos Monastery. In this video we'll be showing you how to spend the day in Belém, what to visit and how to get around. Belém is several miles outside of Lisbon's historic centre, so you will need to take some form of transport to get there. If you choose to take public transport, you have 2 options. Option 1, take the tram. The 15E tram route runs from Praça de Figueira in the historic centre to Belém. Trams set off for Belém approximately every 10 minutes, with a journey time of 45 minutes to the Belém Tower. Option 2, take the bus. The 728 bus goes from the Praça de Comércio in the centre to the Jerónimos Monastery in Belém. Buses leave every 12 minutes with a journey time of just over 20 minutes. You can also take an Uber over to Belém. From the centre it will cost you approximately €10. For more information, look out for our dedicated Lisbon transport video in the coming weeks. The first stop on our tour in Belém is the Belém Tower. Now, not only is this the main monument in the Belém area, it's probably one of the main tourist sites in the whole of Lisbon. The Belém Tower is the most famous attraction in Belém. It was built between 1514 and 1520 and was made a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1983. In the 16th century, the Belém Tower served as a gateway to the Atlantic for Portuguese explorers, as well as a fortification to protect the city against its enemies. Tickets to visit the Belém Tower cost €8, but entry is free for Lisboa card holders. If you have the Lisbon card to get in the Belém Tower, don't go straight to the Belém Tower, they won't let you in. Not to validate your tickets here in the middle of the garden. This is our reward for going around Lisbon in all the wind and rain. We've got it to ourselves, the Tower of Belém. You start your visit inside the tower, where you walk through the cannon room before heading out onto the back terrace. We arrived for opening time, so we had the terrace basically to ourselves. The terrace is definitely the highlight of a visit to the Belém Tower. Not only do you get to see the tower's architecture close up, but the terrace also provides a great view over the River Tagus to the 25th of April Bridge and the Cristo Rei. There are lots of little nooks and crannies to explore, but be careful you don't have too much breakfast before squeezing in. Inside the Belém Tower there's a spiral staircase and there's a note on the outside that says 93 steps. Now, don't worry about that, it's only 22 steps to get to the first platform and get a really good view there across the Tagus, so definitely worth going up the 22 steps. Just a short walk from the Belém Tower is one of Belém's lesser known monuments. The monument to the overseas combatants stands as a memorial for the 9,000 soldiers that died during the Portuguese Overseas War from 1961 to 1974. The 180 bronze plaques behind the monument bear the names of all the fallen soldiers, and the eternal flame in the centre of the pool never stops burning. Next to the monument you'll find a military museum with exhibits focusing on Portugal's military history. Entry costs €5. After walking back past the Belém Tower, we headed around the marina and towards the Monument of the Discoveries. On our way, we stopped to take a picture of the Farol de Belém, Belém's lighthouse. A fun fact about the lighthouse is that it was never actually a functioning lighthouse. It was built in 1940 purely to serve as a point of interest on the walk between the Belém Tower and the Monument of the Discoveries. Our next main stop in Belém is the Monument of the Discoveries. This monument was opened in 1958 and it celebrates the Portuguese age of exploration in the 15th and 16th centuries, where explorers such as Vasco da Gama, who was the first to sail to India, and other explorers traded with the Orient and India. And it goes without saying that the view here, where you can see the Monument of the Discoveries, the Suspension Bridge and the Cristo Rei all together, it's absolutely wonderful. The Monument of the Discoveries was originally designed in 1940 as a temporary exhibit for the Portuguese World Exhibition. However, the monument that currently stands was rebuilt from the original designs in 1960, marking the 500th anniversary of the death of Portuguese explorer Prince Henry the Navigator. 32 figures are carved into the side of the monument, all of whom played an important role in Portuguese exploration. The monument was built near the launch point of Vasco da Gama's first voyage. You can take a lift to the observation deck on the top of the monument for an amazing view over the River Tagus. Entry to the observation deck costs €10, so we decided to save money on this occasion, although there is a small discount for Lisboa card holders. You can still get fantastic views of the river and the 25th of April bridge and Cristo Rei from the ground level. Before you leave, don't forget to look at the world map engraved on the pavement outside the monument. So walking from the monument of the Discoveries across to the Jerónimos Monastery, thankfully there's an underpass because there's a train track. The Jerónimos Monastery was built in the 15th and 16th centuries to celebrate Portuguese expansion and the return of Vasco da Gama from his first voyage to India. Much like the Belém Tower, the monastery was made a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1983. Before heading inside, walk through the beautiful monastery gardens, offering views of the building facade. Once you get to the entrance, there are two sides of the building to explore. To your right is the church with spiralling columns and an ornate ceiling. This part of the monastery is free to visit. To enter the main area of the monastery, get into the queue on your left. Tickets cost €12, but Lisboa card holders get in for free. This is one attraction where it is definitely worth pre-booking tickets if you don't have the Lisboa card. Otherwise, you may face an additional lengthy queue across the road simply to buy your ticket. Once you reach the front of the queue, present your tickets or scan your Lisboa card at the kiosk to enter the monastery. To be honest, there isn't too much to explore inside. The main staircase leads straight up into the upper level of the monastery cloister, which is the main attraction. The cloister is an example of Portuguese late Gothic architecture and is lined on all sides with intricately designed arches and columns. This is the inside of the Jerónimos Monastery. Obviously a nice two-level cloister around a grassy area. Oh, it's really nice. I don't know whether it's limestone, it's like a white coloured rock, looks really good in the sun, which is finally out. You can walk around the entire cloister on the upper level before heading down a flight of stairs to explore the lower level. So that was the Jerónimos Monastery. Inside it's really nice, limestone coloured cloister. You can walk around and see the tower. Very good. Whether it's worth €12, it seems expensive to me for what you get, but it is a beautiful building. The Jerónimos Monastery marked the end of our morning in Belém, but we returned the following evening to see the sights lit up at night. I was surprised at just how quiet Belém was at night. We visited on a Saturday evening around 7 PM and the Belém Tower was deserted. We started off our visit with a lovely meal at Nasolo Italian restaurant, which overlooked the Monument of the Discoveries. We enjoyed the Belém area so much that we decided to come back on our last night in Lisbon. And it's incredible, it's a Saturday night and it's absolutely dead. There's hardly anyone here. We just had a nice meal at an Italian restaurant there, but there's very few people about. But what a sight this is. The Monument to the Discoveries is all lit up, and if you look across the water there, the bridge is lit up, and the Cristo Rei in green and white. It's a fabulous backdrop. This is one of my favourite places in Lisbon. We're finishing off our tour of Belém, back where we started at the Belém Tower, obviously in the evening, and once again there's hardly anyone here. Looks great, subtly lit next to the Tagus River. And what I'll say is about Belém, it's interesting because it's about 4 miles to the west of the city centre. So you have to get some transport out here, whether that's an Uber or a tram. It's a bit of a hike, but it's one of the best areas of the city because, as I say, you've got so many tourist attractions, the Jerónimos Monastery, the Belém Tower, the Monument to the Discoveries. So it's somewhere you should really come if you're visiting Lisbon. Thanks for watching Rob on Holiday. We hope you enjoyed our video covering Belém. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe, it helps the channel, and keep an eye out for more great videos.